Recording in progress. All right, there we go. Let me take a little petri dish. The petri dish. The petri dish.
This is
The petri dish. The petri dish. The petri dish. I still haven't figured out how to get into. This is the petri dish. There's something growing in here, and it honestly is probably some sort of. I don't know if hair can grow, but the amount of just stray animal hair and my own hair, like I got too much hair everywhere, and I found one of my own beard hairs in my ear earlier today.
Huh.
But I also found a cat hair in the other ear. I don't know who to be mad at.
Yeah.
This household is hairy.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, even when you were living here, Nikki shed everywhere. There was
Yeah.
just dog hair around.
Yeah.
If I try to make some bread and it just ends up full of animal hair.
Oh well. Oh God. Yeah.
Got one right in my mouth right now.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. I'm not crazy. There it is, camera. Right there. Pulled that out of my. Oh, you can't even see it on camera. It's so small. Oh, there it is. I pulled that right
There
out of
it
my
is.
mouth.
I see it.
This house is a curse.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Alicia's here off camera, playing zombies. I told her she
Oh,
can't be on the podcast and play video games at the same time because it would affect the quality of the podcast.
hey. Well, You know,
It's not
Yeah.
true. This is flying by the seat of my pants at any given point.
yeah. Just don't zip line by the seat of your pants.
Is
I
that? Did
I
you
don't know
zipline?
why that's worse.
Have you ever ziplined?
I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
I did a high ropes course once, and there might have been a zip line involved in that, but I can't remember.
I don't specifically remember ever ziplining, but I feel like it's one of those things I did. Like when my parents were getting divorced 20 years ago now, there was like so much stuff they were trying to do. Just like, it's like, oh, it's after school. One of us has to plan something or else the other one gets you, So like they would
No.
plan insane shit. Somewhere out in the ether, my mom has a picture of me and Will Smith, like
Oh,
they
really?
were just always
You-
doing shit. And I don't really remember.
Oh. Yeah.
It was like a
Oh,
charity
yeah.
golf thing that I was apparently at. I don't remember
Oh.
anything about it.
But you met Will Smith.
Yeah, I got a picture and everything. I was probably 9, 10 years old. Yeah.
That's awesome. So you were like 6'1", 6'2"?
Just me and Will Smith side by side, except I'm just a giant 9-year-old.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
this was like a year before my big growth spurt. So he like took a knee to be next to this regular sized child that I was.
Oh, no.
And then not a year or two
That's
later, I was getting carded at the movie theaters to prove that I was still a child.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy to get carded. It's crazy to get carded to have to prove that you're young.
Yeah.
And I still don't understand how to process that. Like some people are always trying to prove they're older. I've always been trying to be like, I'm not 45, like despite what you see.
Yeah.
Walking around with just wearing my dad's hand-me-down shorts and Crocs, looking like
Yeah.
I just got done with a divorce. No, I'm 12. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Terrible.
Well, yeah.
I was probably also one of the only giant children that could prove that he was a child because I did have ID, which a lot of people don't have. Like a lot of
Oh.
people, when they're like 10, like 10, 11, 12, they don't have IDs ready to go. You just don't do
Yeah,
that
I
until
guess,
you get like your
yeah,
driver's
that's
license, you know?
right. Yeah,
But like military families, it's just like we have to have our military ID or else we don't get to go home. You know, like
yeah, yeah. Fair enough.
especially
Yeah.
post 9/11, those guys were uppity. I'd be
Oh,
like, I'm like, how many times have you seen me walk through this gate to that house you can see from this gate?
yeah.
I'm right there. But
And they're like, "Show me your ID."
yeah, they're like, show me your ID. I'm like, I know several ways to sneak in here. Like it's I'll commit high treason or whatever the crime would be for sneaking on a military base. But
Right.
but
Yeah.
man, it was tough always being carded, but then I'd have my little military ID, which is even crazier because they're like, damn, this 12-year-old, did he go to Vietnam? Like what's nope,
Um,
not at all.
yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if my
That's good.
I wonder if my dad still has any of my old military IDs because it was really funny to have like little 10-year-old swooshy haired me being like, official ID time.
And they're like, "Oh, we can't get you in frame."
Yeah,
Oh God.
my head was always huge on the IDs because it even happens now. Like I hate going to get my license picture taken. Oh, hi cat.
Yeah.
She just jumped through the window. I hate
Oh,
getting my license picture taken because most of the time it's like a tiny station with a little webcam, and they're like, "Oh," and they like lean back and they gotta like tilt the webcam up with their hands because their
yeah.
stand doesn't go high enough. And then they're like, "All
Right.
right, try to be normal," and I'm like, "It's impossible for me, but all right."
Yeah. I always look like a serial killer in my ID photos.
Yeah, that's if I was gonna pick any malady, having a giant head is significantly less better than looking like a serial killer. It definitely doesn't help human interaction, I guess. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're doing this podcast a little later than my usual schedule because last week I said I was going to go to open mics and then Tuesday rolled around and I didn't. I just didn't
Yeah.
I just didn't fucking do it. I have
Fair
no
enough.
excuse. Yeah. Hey,
This,
there he is.
yeah, that's me.
Tilt it up a little bit. There he is. I'll make sure to blur out any sensitive information on there.
Oh, yeah, that's my bad.
That's the guy. It's
Yeah,
all good.
yeah. I
That's
didn't
dope.
think about that. I
It's okay.
just
Nobody's
got
listening to this podcast. One, no one's listening to this podcast. Two, anyone who is listening to this podcast has no idea what to do with your personal information.
okay. Yeah. Oh, nobody's listening to us.
Yeah, like maybe my dad sometimes.
Okay.
Then again, I always think no one's listening to this podcast, and I'll say some wild shit, and someone will bring it up to me, and I'll be like, I don't remember saying that, but hey, thanks
And,
for listening.
yeah, that's awesome.
We'll see.
Yeah. I always thought there was somebody out there.
There's always someone. Hey, whoever's listening right
Yeah.
now, this one's for you.
Yeah. Yeah. This one's for you. Wicca.
Wicca. How about you, Jonathan? Did you hit up any comedy spots at all over the last week?
Oh no. I'm
Yeah.
I live in this room and it's important to me because it's not the street and that's good.
Hey,
But
that works.
otherwise I'm not allowed out. Really.
Yeah, you got
So,
it. Did you do any what is it? Meals on Wheels or the things that you've been doing?
um actually no. Because the person I usually go with yesterday um was didn't had a sick day or something. I'm
Oh
not
shit.
sure why. Yeah.
So they just
So
got you cooped up in them four walls now, huh?
yeah, yeah.
Hey,
It's fine. I've just got to be optimistic.
And at least you got the Switch now. You know, that's something.
Yeah, yeah. I've been
Some
playing
Tetris.
so much Tetris, so much Tetris.
It really helps the
Yeah,
time go by. It really does.
it does. Yeah, it does.
Hell yeah.
So,
I didn't
yeah.
I did once we were talking on Tuesday and I was like, I didn't do anything, so I have nothing to podcast about. That made me then get the courage to go out Tuesday night to the open mic.
Oh,
The one that I used to run, the Coffee and Comics mic. You know, I
yeah,
always feel comfortable
guys.
on those Tuesdays, so I went out and did that. It was great. I haven't first time I've been
That,
on stage for comedy this year, and
that's great. Yeah,
it worked. I tried a bunch of new
yeah,
bits. Most of them worked, so I'm
good.
happy.
I, okay. Um, did I tell you about older women who look like David Lee Roth? Oh, that's, what I find attractive.
No,
Okay. Apparently, I'm 80s gay, just in 2020 time. It's strange because, yeah,
hey, you know, I'm
he
assuming
was a
David Lee
very
Roth was
attractive,
there for you in times that you really needed him. You know, so now that's what you're attracted to.
probably. Yeah. 1984 was a great record. That's all I'm saying.
So do you
Yeah.
just see women that look like David Lee Roth and you're like, hey, you want to jump?
No.
Get the eyebrows working.
Might as well jump.
Yeah,
Dude, I don't remember that. Dude, how the riff goes.
me
I
neither.
yeah, I
All I
might as
every time I think of that song, I think of this Foo Fighters video that I saw of Dave Grohl. Like they were starting to play "Hey Jude" by the Beatles,
well.
and then like a couple chords in, he starts singing "Jump." So it's like the first couple chords come in for "Hey Jude," and you're like, you know that intro, so you're expecting
Right.
him to start doing that, and he just gets up to the mic and he goes, "Get up!" And I was like, "Oh shit!"
And nothing gets me down.
Yeah, so I highly suggest that video to anyone who hasn't seen it. Maybe I'll text that to you later once I find it because it brings me
No.
joy. Oh shit, my car's going off. All right, hold on. Let's
Okay.
let's let's make sure the mic can get it, and I'm gonna be right back as I race to go turn my car back off.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so the story of this annoying vehicle.
Okay.
All my vehicles have something that is wrong with them that
Okay.
is only annoying to like me and anyone who has to be in those cars, but not broken enough for me to like stop driving them.
Okay.
So like my
I got
my minivan notoriously had a busted seatbelt alarm that just always thought that the driver's seat was not seatbelted in, no matter what, even if you have it plugged in. So for like the first 15 minutes of every road trip, there's just a seatbelt alarm dinging,
Yeah.
which is why that's why I always start my road trips with some strong playlists to really crank it up.
Yeah.
Because you gotta drown out that sound or you're gonna kill
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah.
And what makes it worse is like every time you stop and like turn off the car, it resets that alarm. So like you go get gas, the next 15 minutes after you get in gas, the seatbelt alarm is gonna be going off.
That's
Makes
terrible. Yeah.
makes those like 6-hour trips up to like Savage Henry, shout out, makes it real
Yeah.
fun. But that's also how I know my minivan can make it from here up to
Yeah.
Eureka on
Yeah.
one tank because I
Oh,
refuse to stop for gas because I don't want to reset the alarm.
fair
But
enough.
But now
Yeah.
my mom traded up her old Ford Expedition for like a brand new 2023 model with like automatic drive. It's like murdered out, all black, everything. It's fucking dope
Nice.
looking. And she was like,
Yeah.
I already have too many cars. Do you want this one? I was like, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's better than my 2008 Grand Caravan with the busted seatbelt alarm. So yes. So like I've been driving her car around, and then she's like, oh, by the way, sometimes when the car's just sitting around, the car alarm will just start going off.
Oh,
It's not like no one's touching it. No, it's not like the wind blows it and it's jostled. It just starts going
yeah.
off for no reason. So like
Oh,
so many times throughout the day, I will be doing something and I'll just hear the alarm going off, and I'm like, everyone, like, there's no world where a car alarm is going off and everyone that can hear it doesn't hate you. You
yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah. That's
even
true.
even worse, we went to go watch my niece do like a get a belt up in karate, like she was doing her belt ceremony. And
Yeah.
during like the quietest parts when all the kids are supposed to be paying attention, and you know how fragile children's attention spans is, I'm
Yeah.
parked right outside of this little strip mall karate studio, and the car alarm just starts fucking pumping. It was like, time to
Now,
play the song of my people. And it's just like all the kids are immediately like, what's that? And all the parents are like, who's this asshole? And I immediately have to just be like fumbling with my keys in my pocket, trying to look like it's not me. And I'm too far away for it to engage the unlock. So I have to like stand up and walk to the door and do it. And I'm like, hey, I fixed the annoying thing, but now everyone knows it's me and they're all staring.
yeah.
So that's the saga of my annoying vehicles.
It's yeah.
Good
What are you
times.
gonna do? Get it
Yeah.
fixed? No.
God, no. That's gonna end up being like $800 or some shit for no reason. They're gonna be
Right.
like, we had to take the engine out to fix this. I'm like, why? Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But put one wire in there, I guess, or take one wire out. I'm assuming it's all just one annoying wire somewhere.
It probably is.
Actually, I know for a fact in my minivan it is, because my dad was
Okay.
my dad was like, let me look up how to fix this, and he was like, we can't fix it because in order to take that wire out, you would also stop having airbags. It's like all the same electrical harness underneath the driver's seat, and you
Yeah.
can't get rid of the annoying alarm without also having absolutely no safety for yourself.
Yeah.
Which, hey, isn't that a metaphor
Yeah.
for life?
Yeah.
Probably.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I got one. That's the main reason I'm afraid to go do comedy. I got to take the minivan, or else maybe the other car, the alarm is going to start going off in the middle of my set. That's what I'm most afraid of. Because then I'm my own worst heckler. Because when you hear a car alarm, everyone gets silent because they don't
Yeah.
want it to be them.
Right.
But if
Yeah.
I'm the one on stage and everyone is silent and it's my problem to deal with, I either have to stop the show to go shut off my own heckler.
Yeah.
Or I just have to ignore it, even though it's
Yeah.
my fault ruining my own set. And that's probably worse, to just pretend. Watching a comic pretend a thing isn't happening is sometimes
Yeah.
worse than just addressing it really quick.
Right. Yeah.
See it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you go to Savage Henry this year?
Yeah, this last one went up there.
Okay.
They finally.
How was it?
I had a lot of fun.
That's great. Yeah.
It was a
I
little
mean,
different. It was a little different
yeah.
just because, like, this year I was the most out of shape I've ever been going into a Savage Henry, both comedy wise and in real life. Because before,
Okay.
I'd get us like a hotel off in the middle of nowhere or like an Airbnb, and I'd be like, it's like a 2-mile walk to get to this venue. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
This time I got like a really central Airbnb, and it was still like a mile walk to the actual club.
Uh-huh.
Oh, but I was so out of shape. I'd make that mile walk in the morning, and I'd be like, if I have to go anywhere else other than the club, I'm going to go home afterwards because I will be so tired.
You just Uber, man.
I didn't want to spend the money because also this was the first, aside from the very first Savage Henry I went to, this was the first Savage Henry I went to where I was unemployed as fuck.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough.
Could not be spending all that Uber money.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. Yeah.
But it made me feel like a real comedian, just to be like, well, I'm broke and I have to sit at
Nice.
this club until it's time to perform. So
Yeah. Yeah.
good times.
Yeah, I remember when the year I went, I ended up falling asleep. I think before or after my set. Not because I was too drunk, I was just super nervous. And I
the nerves will
got there.
get you.
Yeah. 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 My mom says I talk with my hands too much.
I think you don't talk with your hands enough. I think,
Oh,
I think you should really, if you're not going to learn
like I should take up crochet.
yeah, I think if you're not going to learn real sign language, make up your own. Just start
Oh,
looking like you're going to do like a Naruto thing all the time.
yeah.
I left my phone on because I'm a professional. There we go.
That's okay. Are we? Yeah. I just checked my phone for no reason because I saw you check yours. That's
It's Pavlovian, we're all just
yeah.
we all have the call of the phone at any given time. I legitimately thought about completely getting rid of my cell phone.
Oh, nice.
It was like a weird fantasy where I was like, what would I do all day if I didn't have a phone? Am I just going to sit in my living room in the dark, not looking at TikTok anymore? Am I going to like pay attention to my dogs or like go for walks? What the fuck would I do without a phone?
Yeah.
I'd have to go out to talk to people, which is terrifying. I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to like go to a coffee shop, talk to a guy, and then immediately look up to see whether or not he's like a Nazi on Facebook, like, because that happens.
Oh,
Some guy gets talking to you at a bar and you're like, wow, you just said some weird shit. And you look him up and he's just like 88, whatever, something, 14 words, lovehitler.com. And I'm like,
oh God.
Like, sir, you're a proud boy. I don't condone this. I don't want them tricking me into talking with them like they're people.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't like social interactions anymore. I actively avoid them.
That's fair. I understand.
It makes doing entertainment and networking very difficult.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
But I think it's better for me to at least like go watch a bunch of people do stand-up comedy and be like, okay, this one guy didn't say any like borderline crazy shit. I'll go talk to him. And they're usually just like a weird, nervous white dude. And I'm like, hey, I know a lot of those.
Yeah.
Those guys are all right.
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to smoke less weed so that I don't get tired at 7 p.m.
Huh.
As soon as the sun goes down, I'm like, I'm sleepy. And we'll look at our phones, and Alicia's like, it's not even 7 o'clock. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, so it's not time to go lay down. It's time to like go do a hobby or like try to stay up for at least 2 more hours so I can go to bed at like a respectable 8:30 p.m.
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
I've been drinking too much coffee,
Okay.
but that's because I'm out of Adderall again and I am not getting more because one, my doctor is probably not going to keep giving it to me because I got different insurance now. And two,
Oh.
I don't think my heart can take it.
Oh.
I don't think I can
That,
love Taco Bell as much as I do, drink as
oh.
much coffee as I do, and be doing Adderall. You know, like something in the trifecta has to drop, and Taco Bell is
Yeah.
too affordable.
Yeah.
Adderall, not
Taco
affordable.
Bell. Fair
Ding.
point. Taco Bell is delicious.
Yep.
Although you can get Roberto, which I fucking love. I miss Roberto so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one right by the house.
Is
Dangerous.
there?
Dangerous.
Did they open a new?
Yeah, it's like they opened up a Starbucks, a Roberto's, and like a chicken place, all in the
Okay.
little area where like Food Max is.
I don't remember where Food Max
Oh,
was.
it was like just down the road, maybe like 4 or 5 blocks away. So it's still not like
Okay.
technically walking distance, but like
Yeah.
it's a little jaunt.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I would always go to the one that was where 80 and the University Road
Yeah, yeah.
cross.
That's like the
Yeah.
central one of the city. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
the good one.
Yeah. I think they got tired of me at some point.
Well, yeah, you'd go in there and just order like 4 burritos and then just shuffle off for a couple days.
Yeah. But they were so good.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
also hold up like in the fridge too, you know? So like
Yeah.
especially if you're just getting like a bean burrito or like a chili relleno burrito,
Yeah.
like it's just going to be a big slop tube, so
Yeah. Slop tube.
who doesn't
That's
love a good
solid.
slop tube, you know? Hot Pockets, burritos, just whatever's in that tube.
Yeah.
Give me a
It
sloppy
is.
tube.
Yeah. I'll eat a sloppy tube.
Speaking of sloppy tubes, I have to I'm apparently vitamin deficient in magnesium
Oh.
according to the internet because like coffee apparently makes your magnesium levels like go down a bunch, and apparently not having enough magnesium
Oh.
will like make you all depressed and sluggish and things. So I think like I got to start taking
Well,
magnesium.
that's no.
Yeah, it's crazy. That was, I mean, the same thing happened with Jostin.
Yeah.
He thought he was depressed and he just needed like some
Yeah.
B12 injections and he got all better.
Okay.
But then a bunch of terrible shit
Nice.
happened and now he can be sad if he wants, but he doesn't because he's got all his vitamins.
Yeah.
So, guys, take your vitamins.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. Rogan says that all the time.
Yeah, he would. That's vitamin
Yeah.
D. That's not going to do it for me. I'm trying to see if my like once a day male vitamins, men's daily multivitamin from CVS Health.
Yeah.
Does it
Yeah.
have magnesium?
I'm sure it's got something in there.
It's got riboflavin.
Yeah.
I've seen riboflavin in so many things. I still have no idea what it is. It's like all the like cereals where they're like, we've enriched it with calcium and riboflavin. I'm like,
What?
cool. It sounds as fake to me as the Jamie Lee Curtis poop yogurt chemical is.
Oh, yeah.
They're like,
What
ooh,
what chemical is that?
it's let's see. Oh, it's Bifidus regularis. I had to like mock it in my own brain to get to the correct
Oh,
answer. But
okay.
they're like, Activia yogurt is made with Bifidus regularis. And I'm like, you can't just
Oh,
make up a bacteria that you put into your yogurt to like sell it better. I don't trust it. I
fair
think
enough.
I think of Bifidus regularis as the yogurt equivalent of in the 90s when Sega was trying to beat Super Nintendo. So they were like, the Sega Genesis has blast processing. And
Yeah.
everyone's like, so
What
the,
is
the
blast?
processor's faster? It's blasting through the process.
Yeah.
They
Blast.
never really answered. They were just like, this Sega Genesis has so much Bifidus regularis.
Yeah. Dude, Game Gears were the shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Game Gear and later on I think it was Nokia N-Gage, the cell phone that was also a top tier gaming system.
I don't remember that.
It was that was one of those like early to mid 2000s ones that was like the Game Boy had become too popular, so cell phone companies pre-smartphone, like the BlackBerry existed, but it wasn't quite
Okay.
iPhone time yet, you know?
Yeah.
So Nokia
Mhm.
was like, we got the answer. There was like the 1 through 9 buttons on the right side and like a D-pad and some other buttons on the left side and a screen in the middle, and you were supposed to play video games on it and then also be like, oh, I got a phone call, like it was fucking weird. It was weird what they were trying to do, and I get why they were trying to do it because now mobile gaming has overtaken all other video games as like the most popular form of gaming. It's
Oh,
like
really?
they were just like a little too ahead of their time, and by a little too ahead of their time, I mean good idea, bad execution. There was probably a way to do it better back then, but the Nokia N-Gage. I'm saying
Yeah.
it's Nokia. I don't actually remember. I'm just assuming that's what the N stands for because it was supposed to be like
Huh.
engage, except it was just
Yeah.
capital N
Yeah.
dash gauge,
Yeah.
Gage.
Yeah.
Taking drugs on camera. I got my riboflavin in me now.
Nice. Yeah. I'm surprised that wasn't like a Nick Cage lawsuit.
This has got magnesium. What about Nick
Uh,
Cage?
well, like the Engage. Yeah. It's like a Nick Cage. Yeah.
Don't
It's
you
it's
don't you
not very
free
good,
word
but
associate with me? Don't you do
okay.
this? He was like, Your Honor, this
Hey,
is far too close to the name I use for movies.
yes, exactly.
That's when they
Yeah.
came. That's what they're going to come out with. Nokia Nicholas Coppola instead, just to fuck with him.
Yeah.
I always forget that he's a Coppola, and then like
Yeah.
he'll do some extra weird artsy shit, and I'm like, oh, that's right. He's like intentionally weird and not just a crazy person. I mean, he is a crazy person, but
Yeah.
like it's kind of part of his blood.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the same thing whenever I see Charlie Sheen going crazy. Because I'm like, of course Charlie Sheen's like a weird, crazy person because his dad
Yeah.
is like a slightly different weird, crazy person. But like Martin Sheen is only the kind of crazy where you just like go to protests and get arrested with tape on your mouth because you care about the earth or something. And Charlie
Okay.
Sheen, yeah, Charlie Sheen was like, fuck the earth and fuck other people. Let's eat tiger blood and give women AIDS. And so like
Yeah.
allegedly, I don't know that if I don't know that Charlie Sheen has actively given anyone AIDS, but it does seem like a thing he'd do.
Yeah.
So no official accusations, but if any actor was going to give somebody AIDS on purpose just through
Yeah.
neglect, it's going to be Charlie Sheen.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was actually the half men in 2.5 Men.
He. I love that show so much. I really did. There was there was uh there was a joke in Due Date where Dag Galifianakis starts a fan club of 2.5 Men, and I went and saw that movie with a bunch of friends of mine, and they laughed their ass off because they're like, "That's you," and I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
shit, yeah."
I
Zach G is making jokes.
I definitely wouldn't consider 2.5 Men to be one of my favorite shows, but that's one of those shows that was just kind of like always on back in its heyday. It was
Yeah,
one of those like it was the
yeah,
equivalent now of like when you go to a hotel room and fucking like Mike and Molly on FX is on. It's like that. It was just Two and a Half
right.
Men was just on 3 different channels at any given point. So I watched a
Yeah,
lot of it.
nice. Yeah, I would deliberately DVR it and then save up to watch on the weekends, and then just get liquored up while I was watching it.
Hell yeah.
It was, yeah,
Living that Charlie
yeah,
Sheen life.
yeah. That was like back in college. That's what I was doing. That's
Back
who I was.
back when you were building burrito
Which is
cannons.
not, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it was before I did that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah. Because I went to college twice, really. I dropped out both times because I can't commit.
Hey, at least you went back to be like, maybe I was wrong the first time. And then you were like, nah. Nah, this sucks as bad as I remember. See you later.
Yeah, yeah. Hello, Reno. Yeah,
That's Reno is where you go when you drop out of college. That's true.
yeah. Fair enough. Yeah,
they'll take you in, they'll liquor you up and let you do whatever your vice is until you're better.
yeah. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, I could see that.
yeah, yeah. But I need to write about that potato cannon.
Yeah, you do that.
Yeah.
And then like once you write out the memory, then you can like tack the video onto the end of it and be like, all right, here's a burrito cannon.
Um, I didn't. I don't have that video saved anymore.
Really? Because I don't remember. I don't know if you like have access to that YouTube anymore, but I thought it was just like on YouTube and you just had to like deep dive for your name in order to find it.
Oh, I don't know.
I'll find it. I'm gonna
So,
find that video.
okay. Yeah. If you find that video, that'd be great. It's what I remember. It was a terribly made video,
Yeah, it was like a metaphor for
but
capitalism. It was great.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, and I broke plywood with the beans, refried Taco Bell beans. Yeah, which is impressive. That's a lot of food.
Yeah. Oh my god. I'm gonna be texting
Yeah.
you so many videos now because your bean projectiles remind me of a similar bean projectile video that I go back
Oh,
to. I'm gonna say quarterly. I'll go watch this video because it makes me laugh. Um,
oh,
the sketch group Whitest Kids You Know had a sketch back in the day where Timmy Williams plays a character called Baked Beans, where he's just like this weird androgynous phone sex character. So it's like, ooh, baked beans, call
okay.
me. I don't bite unless I feel trapped. You know, like he's just fucking weird. And
Yeah.
at one point in the
Yeah.
video, they blast him with a bunch of baked beans. Like,
Oh,
it was because it's like a, hey, do you want to all over me? And he like gets blasted with beans, and it's funny when you. But
yeah.
they have a behind the scenes video that shows like they were a bunch of like 27-year-olds with a non-union TV show, so they were just doing whatever. And so
Yeah.
they load up
Sure.
a T-shirt cannon with baked beans. Now,
Yes.
again, this is they're just filming a thing where they want to blast some beans on a guy. You could have rigged anything. You could have rigged like a hand that just went splat and threw it at him. They rigged a t-shirt cannon. The thing that you blast t-shirts into the tops of stadiums with, and they
Yeah.
are 10 feet away from him just off camera. And he's trying
Oh,
to do
yeah.
his lines, and they just blast him with baked beans. It moves the curtains in the back. Beans are embedded in the walls. He can't like finish
Nice.
his lines or keep his eyes open because he has just been like riot police baked beans directly to the face. And it's so
Nice.
funny because like
Yeah.
he's trying so hard to be cool with it because like
Yeah.
he's just trying to get through the shot as he is being fired upon. I'll say he is being fired upon, and the projectile just happens to be food.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm surprised he
That's
didn't like
awesome.
lose an eye or something, but it's so
Yeah.
funny to watch him start saying a line and then you just hear, and he's just covered in beans. It's so stupid. You're gonna love it. And also, YouTube has added a slow motion. Actually, you can change the speed of videos
Okay.
as you're watching in the little settings, so you can watch that in slow motion. It's beautiful.
That's awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, we're just gonna be out here eating sloppy tubes, blasting beans. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Uh,
Beans. Good for your heart. The more you eat, the more you fart.
aside from farting beans, you got anything you've been into? You got any plans? You got anything to plug? You just hanging out in this room?
Yeah.
Getting
I'm not homeless, you know? And
honestly solid. That's solid. That's more than a lot of
yeah,
people can say in this great nation of ours.
yeah. I wish I had something comedy related going on, but I don't right now.
Well, shit. This is it. We catch Jonathan on the next podcast.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Other than
Finger.
that, I ain't got nothing to plug. I ain't got nothing going on either. So keep listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
If you're watching this on YouTube, watch more of the YouTube videos I post. I've been playing a zombie game and editing it together just to have little fun content out there. But
Cool.
other than that, let's land this plane. Jonathan,
Okay.
let's play them out. Do skibbity beep bop. Skip boop beep boop bop. Skibbity beep 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 doo.
Post nuclear arena. Petri dish arena.